Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my shop and a video on road bikes. Not that road bike, that's for another video. But today, since I got all my tools inside from the garage to make room in there, and since it's raining outside, I thought it would be a good day to talk about this pile of parts that will hopefully soon become a road bike. What I have in front of me here is a Trifox X16 Speedster frame set and wheel set, the cockpit and seat. I purchased this brand based on Hambini and Trace Velo and David Arthur and a few other YouTubers' recommendations and interest in the brand. I thought I would give them a shot, see what all the hype is all about. Today, the first video, I thought we would go over the Trifox branded parts, do an inspection of the details and the quality, and then a rundown of all the parts that I've decided to go with on this build. I have a few gems, including a Hambini bottom bracket that we will be installing. Let's get started on the Trifox branded parts and clear off the table, and we'll go through them one by one. So here are all the Trifox branded parts that you need to complete the build. You get the frame, the fork, the cockpit, the seat post, the wheel set, and then you get a finishing kit of the seat post clamp and the headset. From their website, this was about $1,100 for the frame set and wheels, and then $110 for the cockpit and $40 for the seat. And if you've seen Trace Velo's videos, you can get a little bit of a discount if you put in his promo code, and I think you might be able to look for seasonal deals too. They might have some of these parts cheaper then. The frame itself is a 56 centimeter, and it's a chameleon purple paint job, which is a metallic silver that kind of shimmers and turns purple as you walk around it. And it has some cool hologram Trifox branding logos, Speedster logos on it. I like the paint job. It seems like it's pretty substantial too, and I didn't find any runs or blemishes in the paint job at all. Now the one problem I am going to have to deal with is that they painted over the flat mounts. So we're going to have to face those, which hopefully we'll be able to do ourselves, and we'll just go off of the front fork and the way they're faced and try to make them match up the best we can. Just a little detail problem with their quality control, but it's nothing major. It's just something that comes with the painting process, and you know you're getting a nice thick coat of paint. I think we'll also have to do Trace Velo's little modification on the cable routing. He had to file one of the holes to make the routing a little bit more smooth. The only one going through the frame is the rear brake. So I might see if I can get away with using that other hole, but if not, we'll file out the one that goes to the rear brake. If you watched Hambini and Trace Velo's videos on their Trifox frames, you'll know that they do tend to be a little rough on the finer details and the finishing touches. There's a little bit of a scabby nature to the headset races, as Hambini pointed out in his example. The bearings, I've already test fitted them and they fit fine. The interior surfaces look good. I don't see any wrinkles, obvious wrinkles anyway, from the vantage point I have. I don't have an endoscope, sorry about that. But from what I can tell, the interior of the tubes do look good. I don't see too much epoxy overrun or anything like that. The bottom bracket threads look cut straight, and the bottom bracket seems concentric, and we will find out when we put Hambini's bottom bracket in there. Okay, so now we will talk about all of the rest of the parts that you'll need from Trifox to build the bike. So with the frame set comes the seat post. It's a classic D-shaped seat post. The paint job is just as good as the frame. There is a little bit of a discrepancy in the wall thickness. You can see in the top left and the bottom right. I don't know, maybe you can see it. But it seems pretty stiff otherwise. I don't think it'll be a problem, just a little bit of a handcrafted nature. The guts are a round style, and you'll need a round style rail seat. Take note of that if you're going to buy an aftermarket. This one is pretty plain and basic, just a thin piece of carbon molded to some carbon rails. So I guess 2 or 3 piece design. We'll see how comfy that is. I also have some foam. I can put on some foam with some adhesive on the back to pad that and make my own custom seat. We'll see how that goes. The seat post is a really simple wedge style with a very small bolt, and I can see how there could be some slipping issues. So if that's the case, we will use Trifox's rubberized plastic sleeve hack, and we might put some fiber grip on it as well. The kit also comes with this little rubber flap to cover up the seat post clamp area. I might use it, I might not. We'll see how it looks, and if it bothers me on the road, if it flaps at all, I'll take it off. I'm not really going to ride in the rain anyway. It is a nice little consideration, I guess, but not the best engineered little accessory, I guess. The cockpit, pretty standard. I've seen a few others like this of different brands on the internet, so I don't think there's anything too crazy about this. I did see one video that complained about the holes for the hoses being a little bit too small. If so, we'll file those out just like with the frame if we have to. It's a dual bolt clamping system, which I think is much better than a single bolt. I don't recommend using a cockpit that has a single bolt. I think that's stretching it a bit much. The fork looks good. Paint job, same as the frame, very nice. Stickers look very straight. I didn't see any fiberglass or any kind of resins inside of the steer tube. It's 100% carbon. It comes with the crown race, but I don't think we'll need it. Like I said, I test fitted the bearings in the frame. They seem okay. Just an unbranded set with a knurled cap with a nice little rubber stopper on top of the hex bolt. I appreciate that. That should be nice. Note that it doesn't come with any spacers, so I went ahead and got some carbon spacers, and we will cut the steer tube to length. I don't want to cut it too short in case I don't like the cockpit and I have to go to a traditional stem that might change the rise and the reach, of course. So if any of those metrics change, I want to have a little bit of extra steer tube. So I probably will be running at least a couple spacers on this build. Like I said, the flat mounts are roughly faced. Hopefully that'll be okay. They're not professionally surfaced, but the professional part tool kit is very expensive, so hopefully that'll be good enough. Trace Velo had a problem with the axle being misaligned. Hopefully this one doesn't have the same problem. I will make sure to grease all the threads and be very careful and torque everything down to the right specifications. The wheels are 45 millimeter, and they seem pretty standard affair. Center lock design, regular metal spokes with, I believe, alloy spoke nipples, and I went with a traditional hooked design. We're going to be running lightweight tubes and clincher tires, just a safe traditional setup. And the ratchet seems pretty standard fare as well. I don't know if we can do a sound check for you here. So it's kind of loud, pretty robust. Doesn't seem to drag too much. So we'll put these together, I believe, first, and then we will go along with the rest of the build. Before we close up today, I'll go ahead and lay out all of the group set and finishing bits to complete the bike and give you a build sheet and a price total. And I don't think I'll weigh every single part. I think we'll just leave it till the end and we'll weigh the completed bike at the end. Most of these parts, they have the weights listed on the websites, or other YouTubers have weighed these parts already. Okay guys, here's the entire group set and finishing kit to complete the bike. I will post a complete build sheet here for you now so you can pause it and see the prices for everything, and we will do a total cost at the end. Essentially, it's a complete Shimano Ultegra 12-speed Di2 kit, but I upgraded to the Dura Ace chain rings to get the 54/40 gear ratio, and then I went with Dura Ace brake calipers and rotors because I think the caliper design is superior. Like I said, the Hambini bottom bracket, Data bar tape. I don't really care about fancy bar tape. The cheap stuff's always been fine. I'm going with two Bolito lightweight inner tubes. We're going to try those out for the first time and see how they do. Continental 5000s. I've had good luck with those on the other bike, so I will keep going with those. And as well, Velox fabric rim tape. I know it's heavy, but I've always had good luck with this stuff, so keep on using it. And then the bottle cages are just some unbranded, cheap carbon fiber ones I found on eBay. You guys can find those all day long. So guys, that's pretty much everything for today. Next episode, I will set up the wheels and prepare the frame, and we will get going on bolting some parts onto these pieces of carbon. So thank you all for hanging out with me, and we will see you all next time.